Dia Div, agus Falchigodi, Terra Incogweirdo, Mocharjas. Hello and welcome to Terra Incogweirdo, my friends, and another edition of Tarot Incogweirdo. I think this is reading number 8, and today's subject will be missing persons pursuant to the poll that I ran last week. Missing persons won out as the question that people wanted answered, and Purple Mommy actually sent in a missing persons case from Australia, and I'm going to do a reading about that. But first, I would like to let you guys know how excited I am that today we had our first confirmation of one of our Tarot Incogweirdo readings. I released it last Wednesday about the Roanoke colonists, and the cards told us all that they had been taken in by the local Croatan tribe. And today I wake up to news articles all over the interwebicals saying exactly that. Well, congratulations, cards. Your first victory and your first verification, because indeed they are now reporting all over the news that archaeologists have determined conclusively that the Roanoke colonists were subsumed by the local Croatan tribe who lived out on the Outer Banks Islands, and the finding is being based upon archaeological evidence of metallurgy. Okay, so go forth and y'all can, there's all kinds of news reports about it on the internet, but hooray! It just goes to show you guys, these cards are never wrong. I'm wrong sometimes, because sometimes I read them incorrectly, but the cards are always gonna steer you right if you can maintain a clear mind and try not to intersperse your point of view in there. And also, I would just like to register how excited I am because I'm going to see Jack White tomorrow, and boy, has he been on my bucket list forever. He is one of my favorite guitar players. The man seems like he was born with a guitar as an extension of his body, and I've never seen anyone. I mean, Buckethead is my favorite guitar player, but Jack White is just a man possessed with that instrument, and I am so excited. And maybe I'll be able to give you guys some shorts or something from the show. I'll just have to look into Jack's policy about posting videos from his concert. Okay, so let's get into the mystery of Peter Falconio. Okay, so if you've never been here on Tarot Incogweirdo, I do a 5-card spread, and I shuffle the cards while I'm talking about the question, and then I lay them out for you. And the first card that I place will indicate the nature of the question. The second card will be the reason for asking. Third card, factors to be considered. Fourth card, solution, advice, or comment given. And the fifth card is the outcome. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little background on Peter Falconio. So, Peter Falconio was a British tourist who disappeared in a remote part of Stewart Highway near Barrow Creek in the Northern Territory of Australia on the evening of July 14, 2001, while traveling with his girlfriend, Joanne Lees. In the aftermath of the backpacker murders, which must have been happening kind of at the same time, the case quickly attracted considerable public and legal attention, both domestically and worldwide. Falconio was 28 years old at the time of his disappearance. His body has never been found, and he is now presumed dead. On December 13th, 2005, Bradley John Murdoch was convicted of Falconio's murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. So I wrote to Purple Mommy because I wanted a little clarification. Purple Mommy writes, the great Falconio mystery. Yes, Bradley John Murdoch went down for Peter's alleged murder. However, a body's never been found. Peter's girlfriend at the time, Joanne Lees, said she never saw Peter after Murdoch placed her in the back of his vehicle. A witness claimed he saw two guys helping another guy in distress who appeared, quote, like jelly. So a witness claimed he saw two guys helping another guy in distress into their red car. Joanne and Peter had been smoking weed as they traveled at night in the outback. Not a wise thing to do. Indeed. There's been alleged sightings of Peter since the incident, but all unconfirmed. Murdoch to this day still declares his innocence. He's no angel, but could have been wrongly convicted. Even the victim's parents, Purple Mommy says, I can't recall which ones, so she's saying she can't remember if it was Peter's parents or Joanne's parents. They are doubting Murdoch's guilt. Rumors abound about the ambush being orchestrated, about Joanne having a secret lover back in Sydney, that it was a drug deal gone wrong. Murdoch was a known drug runner, weed runner, along that particular stretch of road, and he was known to police. Who knows what happened? There's numerous videos on YouTube about it, but it's all speculation. One hell of a mystery case if you believe the rumors. Well, that is indeed quite the case. So it appears to me, okay, I feel like I'm going to need my book on this one. This is pretty complex because I just don't think this is going to be an easy answer. Peter might not be dead. Let's try to find out if Peter's dead. Sorry, when parts of my cards fall off, I eat them because kids, voodoo is real. Nobody's getting my juju. That's right. Okay. All right, cards. Thank you for helping me see things clearly. And we would like to know, first off, I gotta know, first off, we need to know if he's dead. Is Peter actually dead? I guess I should say, is Peter dead as a result of this incident? Okay, because maybe he didn't die in this incident and he died later on, and if you're not clear with these cards, then they can't give you a clear answer, so you have to do your best to distill your question, right? So did Peter Falconio die as a result of what Joanne Lees is describing as some sort of kidnapping, maybe robbery, abduction scenario? Did Peter Falconio die as a result of the incident that took place on July 14th, 2004? Let me double check, and I'm going to make sure I got that date right. July 14th, 2001. Is Peter dead as a result of this incident that took place on July 14th, 2001? Okay, so the nature of the question is one of peace of mind. Okay, so card number 16, Lotus, is the card that is indicating continuity, meditation, placidity, and peace of mind. So the nature of the question is one of peace of mind. Okay, because we need to put this mystery to rest, do we not? So, Purple Mommy's reason for asking. Okay, so serious. This card indicates universal awareness. Okay, and in this position in the reading, it has to be interpreted as her reason for asking is to go above and beyond maybe the normal realm of inquiry and try to get the cards to answer a question that cannot be answered by standard methods. Okay, factors to be considered: is Peter actually dead? Okay, Earth. All right, so in this factors to be considered, Earth is a card for practicality, right? And you could read it as Peter's in the earth, right? Peter's dead. But what I think that this is indicating is that money was a factor in whatever happened to Peter. Okay, so was it a robbery? Was it some kind of double dealings gone wrong? That there was an issue of money involved in this situation. Okay, so Peter, solution, advice, or comment given: are you dead? Mirror of Hathor. Okay, so this card means fortitude. Okay, so I'm gonna see. I had a feeling. Mirror of Hathor I find to be a card that has many diverse meanings. Okay, so yeah, because it really, like, if there's a card in the deck that it stands for women, it's Hathor, right? For a strong, organized woman. It also has other meanings, but like in the mundane, every day, it's talking about, like, you know, the hearth and the home and the comfort of the home and the creature comforts associated, you know, with mom and with home and cooking and such like that. But whenever this card, okay, comes up in a reading and seems to have no bearing on the question you're asking, it means that a strong woman was involved in the outcome. I'm looking at you, Joanne. What did you do? What did you do, girl? Did you contract with these dudes in the red car to abduct your boyfriend? Maybe even kill him? What did you do, Joanne? Joanne's involved. Solution, advice, or comment given: Hathor. Okay, Peter, bless you. Are you dead? Okay. Nephetis means it's hidden. And it's a mystery. Okay. I'm gonna open the book, and we're gonna get a little bit more into Nephetis and what Nephetis means. Okay. Another representation of Isis. There's many of them. So we need to read this again on the material or mundane or conscious level. And again, here we have Nephotis's level could refer to a sister or a very close, reliable friend. The card may also represent a shy or reserved person, but since it is the right way up, the person will be trustworthy, even though this may not be apparent. Nephotis people and situations are never obvious. One has to look around them, as it were, to find the answers. Indeed. This reading is not indicating that Peter is dead. Okay? The cards can't tell me. Joanne knows something that she's not saying. Either Joanne or somebody in Peter's family, a sister, somebody knows what happened to Peter and where he is, and it's likely Joanne. All right. Where is Peter's body right now, alive or dead? Flippin' Isis. The mother card. Look at all these cards about women. Right? Partner, sister, mother. There are women out here in this world, and I'm feeling like it might be Joanne that knows exactly what's up with Peter. And I tell you what, nothing is indicating to me that he's dead. Fertility with the sacrifice, okay? That would mean he is alive, but he had to make some sort of sacrifice to remain alive, like maybe change his name. Okay, so what I'm getting from this reading is that Peter and likely Joanne were involved in some endeavor in the middle of the Australian outback that involved money, and as they ended up as a known weed runner ended up getting framed. I didn't mean to say framed, it just came out. Who ended up being charged with Peter's murder was a drug runner. One could potentially infer from this situation that Joanne and Peter were out in the desert to do some kind of a deal. And wherever Peter is now, he's hidden or being hidden. So if he's alive, which it appears that he is, he's being shielded by a female friend or family member. And I would assume that if he were being shielded, that would mean that he is indeed somehow complicit in this situation, or why else wouldn't he come forward? So my cards are saying that there's a guy in jail for a murder that he didn't commit, that Peter very well may still be alive, which is what it seems, and that he's being hidden. Literally, this card means hidden. He's being hidden by a strong female. Okay. That's what the cards have to say about Peter Falconio. Well, maybe we'll find out next week. If we're lucky. All right. So I was considering also doing a reading about Amelia Earhart, but I'm going to do that in a separate video, because these always get a little bit more intense than I am expecting them to. Okay? So, cards say Peter Falconio is not dead, and that there is a female who is shielding him and keeping him hidden. So, indeed, let's see if that story breaks soon. I hope so. Okay, guys, well, that is going to be all for me today on Terra Incogweirdo. And if you have any questions about missing persons or unsolved mysteries of any kind, paranormal mysteries, then write them down in the comments below or send me an email at terraincogweirdo@gmail.com, and I will do a reading and put it up on YouTube for all of you wonderful Incog Weirdos to watch. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bring the light, be transparent, don't hide things, and just enjoy your life and be kind to others, you know? Sounds like a good thing. Okay. Well, I'll see you next time here on Terra Incogweirdo, the land where para is normal. All right, babies. My babies, my Incog babies. See you next time. Slang go fall. Bye bye.